When we talk about weak bones, most people immediately think of calcium tablets or expensive supplements. But what if I told you that one simple food, a food you probably walk past in the grocery store every week, has the power to strengthen your bones from the inside out? Today, we're going to explore the first food that can improve weak bones, not in months, but starting from the moment it enters your bloodstream. Bones are far more dynamic than most people realize, constantly reshaping themselves in response to the signals they receive from our daily choices, especially what we eat. When we talk about weak bones, many assume it is something that naturally comes with age, something we simply have to accept. But the truth emerging from modern research is that bones are living tissues, rich with blood vessels, stem cells, immune cells, and structural proteins that respond immediately to nourishment. They are not static scaffolds, but vibrant organs that can grow stronger or weaker depending on the nutrients we introduce into our system. This is why the right food has the power to activate internal healing systems that directly rebuild and fortify bone structure. When consumed consistently, it can help restore strength in areas where deterioration has already begun and reinforce regions that are still healthy but vulnerable to future loss. The process of bone regeneration is driven primarily by two types of cells, osteoblasts, which build bone, and osteoclasts, which break it down. In a healthy system, these cells work in a delicate balance, ensuring bone density remains stable. But with poor nutrition, chronic inflammation, hormonal changes, and reduced blood flow, this balance begins to shift in favor of breakdown rather than repair. Osteoclasts become more active while osteoblasts lose their efficiency. This imbalance is what leads to thinning bones, small fractures, and weakened structural integrity. The remarkable thing is that certain foods contain compounds that directly influence this balance. When we introduce the right food into our diet, its nutrients stimulate osteoblast activity, helping the body rebuild bone tissue more effectively. At the same time, natural anti-inflammatory molecules calm excessive osteoclast activity, reducing the rate of bone loss. This dual action makes the food a powerful tool for strengthening bones from the inside out. Many people also underestimate the importance of circulation when it comes to bone health. Bones may feel hard and inactive on the outside, but inside they depend on tiny blood vessels that deliver oxygen, minerals, and growth factors. When circulation slows down due to aging, inflammation, or poor dietary habits, these vessels fail to deliver enough nourishment to keep bone tissue thriving. The one bone-strengthening food we're focusing on contains compounds that help support microcirculation. By promoting healthier blood flow, it ensures that the bone matrix receives a steady supply of the nutrients it needs to stay strong. Better circulation doesn't just support bone density, it enhances the overall environment within the bone, allowing cells to communicate more efficiently and repair damage more rapidly. Another critical dimension of bone strength involves oxidative stress, a process where free radicals damage cells, including those responsible for maintaining bone structure. Over time, oxidative stress contributes to weakened bones by impairing the function of osteoblasts, disrupting collagen production, and increasing inflammation. The food highlighted in this keynote is rich in antioxidants that neutralize oxidative stress, protecting the cells responsible for bone formation and regeneration. These antioxidants work at a cellular level, shielding the bone matrix from microscopic harm while also improving the stability and function of connective tissues that support the skeletal structure. It's also essential to consider the role of minerals in bone health. While calcium is widely known, bones require a full spectrum of minerals to maintain density and flexibility. Magnesium helps activate vitamin D, which in turn improves calcium absorption. Potassium helps neutralize acids that leach minerals from the bones. Trace minerals like zinc, copper, and manganese play roles in collagen formation and bone strength. The first food we highlight does not offer just one or two of these minerals, but provides several in a naturally balanced form that the body can easily recognize and utilize. Unlike synthetic supplements, which sometimes overwhelm the digestive system or offer nutrients in forms the body cannot fully absorb, this food delivers minerals in their natural matrix, allowing for better integration into the bone-building process. Inflammation is another silent driver of bone weakness. Most people experience chronic low-grade inflammation without realizing it, often caused by stress, poor diet, lack of sleep, or environmental toxins. This type of inflammation subtly interferes with bone remodeling, signaling osteoclasts to break down bone more rapidly while preventing osteoblasts from keeping pace with repair. The food at the center of this keynote is known to contain natural anti-inflammatory compounds that help reduce this hidden inflammation. By calming inflammatory pathways, the body can redirect energy and biological signals toward healing and building, restoring the natural rhythm of bone turnover. The immune system also plays an unexpected role in bone health. Bone marrow is home to immune cells, and the signals they produce influence how bone cells behave. When the immune system is overstimulated due to chronic inflammation or poor nutrition, it sends signals that disrupt bone remodeling. But when the right food is consumed regularly, its phytonutrients support a more balanced immune response. This harmony allows the bone marrow environment to function more effectively, supporting healthy bone regeneration instead of contributing to breakdown. Another fascinating factor is the connection between gut health and bone strength. The gut microbiome determines how well we absorb minerals, how we regulate inflammation, and how efficiently we convert nutrients into bioactive compounds that feed bone tissue. When the gut is imbalanced, nutrient absorption drops dramatically, meaning even a good diet does not fully reach the bones. This keynote food contains natural prebiotic fibers or compounds that support beneficial gut bacteria, helping improve nutrient absorption and reducing inflammation throughout the body. With a healthier gut, the body becomes far more efficient at using the minerals and antioxidants needed to support skeletal strength. What makes this food stand out from the rest is that it supports bone formation on multiple levels simultaneously. It nourishes bone-building cells, strengthens microcirculation, reduces inflammation, protects against oxidative stress, enhances mineral absorption, and supports the gut and immune systems that regulate bone turnover. Each of these factors alone can influence bone health, but when combined in one food, they create a powerful synergy that can transform weak bones into stronger, more resilient structures simply through consistent dietary intake. The first bone-strengthening food stands out because it offers a unique combination of minerals, antioxidants, and bioactive compounds that work together to support the body's natural bone-building process. When we think of foods for strong bones, people often focus only on calcium, but calcium alone cannot build or maintain bone density. Bones are complex, living structures that require multiple nutrients working in harmony to activate osteoblasts, the cells responsible for creating new bone tissue. The food discussed in this keynote contains precisely the nutrients needed to stimulate these osteoblasts, helping the skeletal system rebuild, repair, and reinforce itself. What makes it especially powerful is that it delivers these nutrients in forms that the body can easily absorb and immediately put to use, unlike many supplements that fail to integrate fully into the bone matrix. The human body relies heavily on minerals like calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, potassium, and trace elements to create strong, flexible bones. Calcium gives bones their hardness, but magnesium helps regulate how that calcium is used, ensuring it ends up in the bones rather than in soft tissues. Potassium helps neutralize acids in the body that leach minerals from bones, preserving both density and strength. Phosphorus forms the structural backbone of hydroxyapatite, the mineral component of bone. The one food contains several of these minerals in naturally occurring combinations that mirror what the body needs, allowing for better absorption and utilization. This is important because the body is not just concerned with how much of a nutrient you consume, but how efficiently that nutrient can be transported into bone tissue. One of the reasons bones weaken over time is the gradual increase in oxidative stress. Free radicals generated through diet, lifestyle, and the environment harm the cells responsible for bone maintenance. Osteoblasts become less active, collagen production slows, and the overall structure of bone becomes compromised. Antioxidants in the first food help counteract this damage by neutralizing free radicals and stabilizing cellular environments. This allows osteoblasts to work more efficiently and helps the body maintain healthier, more organized bone tissue. These antioxidants also protect collagen fibers, which form the framework upon which minerals attach. Without strong collagen, even abundant minerals cannot form properly structured bones. What makes this food even more compelling is its high concentration of phytonutrients, plant-based compounds that influence biological pathways in ways that support bone health. Many phytonutrients have been shown to regulate hormones, reduce inflammation, and improve blood vessel function, all of which directly influence the bone remodeling process. For example, certain polyphenols found in this food act on signaling pathways that govern osteoblast growth and differentiation. When these pathways are activated, osteoblasts become more robust and effective at producing new bone tissue. Additionally, some of these phytonutrients help inhibit the excessive activity of osteoclasts, the cells responsible for breaking down bone. While bone breakdown is a natural and necessary process, excessive osteoclast activity leads to rapid bone loss. The compounds present in this food help restore balance, ensuring that bone breakdown does not outpace bone formation. Circulation plays a critical role in bone strength because blood vessels deliver the nutrients, hormones, and oxygen required for bone development. As people age or experience inflammation, circulation within bone tissue may decrease, slowing the entire remodeling process. The first food promotes healthier blood flow through natural vasodilating compounds that help widen small blood vessels and improve microcirculation. Better blood flow means more minerals reach the bone matrix and more waste products are removed. This enhances the efficiency of bone repair and increases the likelihood that newly formed bone tissue will be strong, dense, and well constructed. Hormonal balance also plays a major role in bone strength, especially for women going through menopause or anyone experiencing hormonal disruptions. Certain compounds in the food can help regulate hormones involved in calcium absorption and bone regeneration. For example, compounds that support estrogen-like activity without behaving like actual hormones can help maintain the protective effects estrogen normally has on bones. Similarly, nutrients that stabilize cortisol levels help reduce stress-related bone loss. By gently supporting hormonal balance, the food helps maintain stable bone turnover rates. Another dimension to consider is the effect of chronic inflammation on bone health. Inflammation accelerates bone breakdown by overstimulating osteoclast activity and disrupting communication between bone cells and the bloodstream. Many people live with low-grade inflammation without realizing it, caused by poor diet, stress, lack of sleep, or environmental toxins. The first food contains natural anti-inflammatory agents that help reduce this internal inflammation. When inflammation decreases, the body can redirect its resources back to bone repair and maintenance. This change in internal chemistry has a profound impact on how bones age and how resilient they remain over time. Bioavailability is another important aspect that determines how effective a bone-strengthening food can be. Bioavailability refers to how well the body can absorb and use a nutrient. In many foods and supplements, nutrients are present but not easily absorbed. The body may pass them through the digestive system without integrating them into the bloodstream. The first food contains nutrients in highly bioavailable forms that the body recognizes and transports directly where they are needed. This means more minerals are delivered to bones, more antioxidants reach bone-forming cells, and more phytonutrients influence the pathways responsible for structural strength. When nutrients are bioavailable, even small amounts can have significant effects on bone density and resilience. The synergy of all these components, minerals, antioxidants, phytonutrients, circulation enhancers, and anti-inflammatory compounds, creates a unique and powerful effect on bone health. Each component plays a distinct role, but together they create a biological environment where bones can grow stronger, repair damage more efficiently, and maintain structural integrity despite aging or external stressors. This is why this food earns its place as the first recommended choice for improving weak bones naturally, relying on the body's own ability to heal and rebuild when properly nourished. Gut health plays a far more influential role in bone strength than most people realize, and the connection between the digestive system and skeletal health has become one of the most fascinating discoveries in modern nutritional science. When people think about weak bones, they often turn directly to minerals like calcium or vitamin D, imagining that simply consuming more of these nutrients will solve the problem. But what if the real issue isn't how much you eat, but how much your body can actually absorb? This is where the gut microbiome becomes essential. The trillions of bacteria living in the digestive tract determine how efficiently nutrients move from food into the bloodstream and ultimately how much of those nutrients reach your bones. If the gut environment is imbalanced, inflamed, or lacking beneficial bacteria, then the minerals needed for bone density simply cannot be absorbed at meaningful levels, no matter how nutrient-rich the diet may be. The first food we highlight in this keynote has a remarkable ability to support gut health by feeding beneficial bacteria, balancing the microbiome, and reducing inflammation in the digestive tract. When this food enters the gut, its natural fibers, prebiotics, or bioactive compounds act as nourishment for the microbes that play key roles in nutrient absorption. These beneficial bacteria break down food more efficiently, extract minerals more effectively, and create compounds like short-chain fatty acids that strengthen the intestinal lining. A strong gut lining is crucial because when it becomes weakened or leaky, the body experiences inflammation that interferes with the process of bone remodeling. A healthier gut lining means a calmer immune response, better digestion, and significantly improved nutrient absorption, including the minerals that directly support bone formation. Calcium is a perfect example of a nutrient dependent on gut health. Without the right bacterial populations, calcium cannot be absorbed efficiently, which means the body excretes most of it rather than delivering it to the bones. Magnesium, another critical nutrient for bone health, relies on healthy digestive function as well. Magnesium activates vitamin D, which in turn regulates calcium absorption. If the gut microbiome is compromised, none of these steps occur properly. The food highlighted in this keynote enhances the environment of the gut in a way that enables these minerals to move across the intestinal wall and enter the bloodstream in higher concentrations. This makes every meal more impactful for bone health because the body becomes better equipped to use the nutrients it receives. The relationship between the gut and inflammation is also essential to understanding why this food is so powerful. Chronic, low-grade inflammation is a hidden factor in many cases of weak bones. When the gut is imbalanced due to stress, poor diet, processed foods, or environmental toxins, it triggers inflammatory molecules that circulate throughout the body. These molecules interfere with osteoblast function, slowing the production of new bone tissue while simultaneously stimulating osteoclasts, causing bone breakdown to accelerate. The first food reduces inflammation by nourishing beneficial bacteria that communicate with the immune system, helping to regulate inflammatory responses. This natural reduction in inflammation creates a more favorable environment for bone formation and helps restore balance to the bone remodeling process. Another interesting link between gut health and bone strength involves the production of certain vitamins by gut bacteria. For example, vitamin K2, which plays a critical role in directing calcium into the bones rather than allowing it to harden in the arteries, is produced by specific gut bacteria. If these bacteria are lacking, the body cannot produce enough vitamin K2 even if the diet is rich in foods that support bone health. The food highlighted in this keynote promotes the growth of these beneficial bacteria, helping the body create more of this essential vitamin naturally. This results in better mineralization of bones, improved density, and reduced risk of fractures. The gut also influences hormones that regulate bone health. Hormones like serotonin, which most people associate with mood, are largely produced in the gut. Serotonin plays a surprising role in bone formation, affecting both osteoblasts and osteoclasts. When the gut microbiome is healthy, serotonin production is balanced, resulting in better communication between the digestive system, the brain, and the skeleton. Additionally, a healthier gut helps regulate cortisol, the body's stress hormone. Chronic stress and elevated cortisol levels contribute to bone loss by increasing inflammation and interfering with calcium absorption. By supporting gut health, this food indirectly contributes to hormonal equilibrium, creating an internal environment more conducive to maintaining strong bones. Fiber is another element of this food that plays a key role in strengthening bones through gut support. Certain types of fiber ferment in the gut, producing beneficial compounds that strengthen the immune system, reduce inflammation, and improve mineral absorption. These fibers act almost like fertilizer for the gut microbiome, promoting diversity among beneficial bacterial strains. A diverse microbiome is linked with stronger bones, better metabolic health, and reduced risk of chronic disease. This is why simply adding this one food to the diet can lead to meaningful improvements across multiple systems that influence bone health. In addition to supporting nutrient absorption and reducing inflammation, The one food also helps maintain a stable pH level in the gut. When the digestive tract becomes overly acidic due to processed foods, sugar, or stress, the body draws minerals like calcium from the bones in an attempt to neutralize the acidity. This gradual leaching weakens bones over time. The alkaline supporting compounds in this food help balance internal pH levels, reducing the strain on the skeletal system and preserving mineral stores within the bones. The synergy between gut health and bone health cannot be overstated, and this food's impact on both systems makes it uniquely effective for reversing bone weakness. By supporting digestive function, feeding beneficial bacteria, reducing inflammation, improving mineral absorption, balancing hormones, and strengthening the intestinal lining, it addresses the root causes of bone deterioration. This deep internal support creates the conditions necessary for bones to rebuild themselves naturally, responding to nutrients more efficiently and maintaining strength over time. How we consume a bone-strengthening food is just as important as the food itself, because the body interacts with nutrients differently depending on how they are prepared, combined, and digested. Many people assume that simply eating a healthy food is enough to unlock its full benefits, but in reality, bioavailability, the extent to which nutrients can be absorbed and used by the body, changes dramatically with preparation methods. The first food highlighted in this talk becomes significantly more powerful for improving bone strength when consumed in the right way. Its nutrients can become more concentrated, more accessible, and more biologically active depending on how it is cooked, paired with other foods, or incorporated into daily routines. Consuming it improperly can lead to nutrients passing through the digestive system without being absorbed, which means missing out on many of the benefits that support bone density, mineralization, and structural strength. One of the most important aspects of consuming this food correctly is understanding the difference between raw and cooked forms. Raw consumption often preserves delicate vitamins, enzymes, and antioxidants that can support bone health by reducing oxidative stress and inflammation. These compounds are sometimes sensitive to heat, and eating the food raw ensures that they remain intact and active. However, cooking this food can unlock other nutrients that are otherwise trapped within its cellular structure. Heat breaks down tough plant fibers or dense protein networks, allowing minerals such as magnesium, calcium, or potassium to become more accessible. Cooking can also release bioactive compounds that remain dormant in the raw form. This means that depending on the nutrient profile you want to emphasize, you may need to alternate between raw and cooked preparations to gain the full range of bone-supporting benefits. How this food is combined with other foods also affects its effectiveness. Some nutrients are fat-soluble, meaning they require healthy fats to be absorbed by the body. Without these fats, even a nutrient-rich food can fail to deliver its benefits. For example, certain antioxidants or vitamins need olive oil, avocado, nuts, or seeds to reach their target systems effectively. Pairing the first food with a source of healthy fats can amplify its impact on bone strength by enabling the body to absorb more of its active compounds. In contrast, pairing it with foods high in sugar or processed ingredients can interfere with nutrient absorption by causing inflammation or digestive imbalance. For maximum bone-supporting impact, this food should ideally be consumed alongside whole, nutrient-dense ingredients that complement its natural profile. Another key factor is timing. The body absorbs nutrients differently depending on the time of day and the state of the digestive system. Eating this food on an empty stomach might increase the absorption of certain minerals, while consuming it after a meal might slow absorption but help the body process fat-soluble compounds more effectively. For some people, consuming this food earlier in the day supports better circulation, digestion, and metabolic function, creating an ideal internal environment for bone strengthening. For others, consuming it in the evening may promote overnight cellular repair, a time when bone remodeling naturally increases. Understanding the timing that works best for your body can significantly enhance this food's effects on bone health. The preparation method also determines the concentration of active compounds. Steaming, for instance, can preserve minerals and antioxidants while softening the food just enough to improve digestion without destroying delicate phytonutrients. Boiling may lead to some nutrient loss into the water, but those nutrients can still be reclaimed by consuming the cooking liquid, such as in soups or broths. Roasting can enhance flavor while concentrating minerals, though it may reduce heat-sensitive vitamins. Fermenting the food, if possible, creates probiotics that further benefit gut health, and as we covered earlier, a healthy gut dramatically improves bone strength by enhancing nutrient absorption and reducing inflammation. Each preparation style offers unique advantages, and combining them throughout the week ensures a wide spectrum of bone supportive effects. Portion size also matters because the body can only absorb a limited amount of certain nutrients at one time. Consuming large quantities of this food in one sitting may overwhelm the digestive system, leading to inefficient absorption. Spreading intake throughout the day or incorporating smaller portions into multiple meals ensures a steady supply of minerals, antioxidants, and bioactive compounds. This consistent exposure allows bones to receive ongoing nutritional support rather than sporadic bursts that may not be fully utilized. In many traditional cultures that benefit from strong bones even in old age, people consume this food throughout the day in small, balanced amounts, which may contribute to their impressive skeletal resilience. Another factor to consider is the freshness and quality of this food. Fresh, high-quality sources contain higher levels of antioxidants and minerals compared to highly processed or stale versions. If the food is plant-based, soil quality and growing conditions influence its nutrient density. If it is animal-based, the health and diet of the animal affect its mineral and protein content. Choosing the freshest, least processed form ensures that you receive the maximum bone strengthening potential. Whenever possible, purchasing organic or minimally treated varieties helps reduce exposure to pesticides or chemicals that may affect gut health and, by extension, bone health. Digestion plays a major role in nutrient absorption, so consuming this food in forms that are easier to digest can greatly enhance its impact. For some individuals, blending or pureeing the food allows nutrients to be released more quickly into the digestive tract. For others, lightly cooking, it makes digestion smoother and prevents gastrointestinal discomfort, which could otherwise reduce absorption efficiency. Proper hydration also assists in distributing nutrients throughout the body, ensuring they reach bone tissue in a timely manner. Drinking enough water when consuming this food helps optimize circulation and supports the movement of minerals into the bone matrix. The consistency with which this food is consumed is also essential. Bones do not strengthen from a single nutrient spike. They require regular exposure to key minerals and compounds to sustain the remodeling process. Incorporating this food into daily meals, whether through salads, soups, roasted dishes, smoothies, or teas, ensures ongoing support for bone density. The body thrives on consistency, and giving it the same beneficial compounds day after day leads to cumulative improvements in bone structure and resilience. Finally, understanding your body's individual responses to different preparation methods can help tailor this food to your specific needs. Some people may notice increased energy and improved digestion when consuming it raw, while others may feel more comfortable and nourished when it is cooked. Paying attention to how your body reacts allows you to fine-tune consumption patterns that maximize the bone-strengthening benefits. By consuming this food in the most effective forms and combinations, you allow its full nutritional potential to support bone growth, mineralization, and long-term skeletal health. Silent inflammation is one of the most underestimated forces behind weakening bones, and understanding how this hidden biological process slowly erodes bone strength helps explain why even people who appear otherwise healthy can develop fragile bones over time. Inflammation isn't always the dramatic, visible swelling you might see when you sprain an ankle. Most of the time, it occurs on a microscopic level inside your body, especially in tissues that are constantly remodeling, like your bones. Your skeletal system is in a constant cycle of breakdown and rebuilding, relying on a delicate balance between osteoclasts, which remove old or damaged bone tissue, and osteoblasts, which create new bone. When inflammation is present, even at low levels, it disrupts this balance by overstimulating the cells that break down bone and suppressing the cells that build bone, turning what should be a healthy renewal cycle into a slow but steady decline. This is where the hashtag "one food we are discussing" becomes profoundly important, because modern nutritional science shows that it contains natural anti-inflammatory compounds that calm this internal fire and allow your bones to repair themselves more efficiently. Researchers now understand that when inflammation becomes chronic, It generates free radicals and inflammatory cytokines that circulate through the bloodstream, reaching the bone marrow where new bone cells are produced. These chemical signals interfere with stem cells that are meant to become osteoblasts, pushing them instead toward pathways that do not support bone formation. In some cases, inflammation can even lead to premature apoptosis, where bone-forming cells die earlier than they should, accelerating bone loss. The food we're focusing on counteracts these processes with its potent antioxidants, which neutralize free radicals, and its bioactive nutrients that target inflammatory pathways at their root. These nutrients do more than simply reduce symptoms. They help rebalance the internal environment so that bone remodeling can return to a healthier rhythm. This is essential because, unlike medications that often address only one biochemical pathway, nutrient-rich foods can influence multiple aspects of bone metabolism simultaneously. Another important aspect of silent inflammation is that it often originates in the gut. When the gut lining becomes irritated by poor diet, stress, or microbial imbalance, it can become more permeable than it should be, allowing inflammatory molecules to leak into the bloodstream. This gut-driven inflammation has been directly linked to decreased bone density in numerous studies. The one bone-strengthening food is uniquely powerful because it contains fibers, minerals, and phytonutrients that nourish the gut microbiome, helping beneficial bacteria thrive. These bacteria, in turn, produce short-chain fatty acids that calm inflammation, repair the gut lining, and improve the absorption of the nutrients your bones depend on. Without a healthy gut environment, even high-quality calcium or magnesium from supplements or other foods may not be properly absorbed or utilized, which is why people with inflammation often struggle to improve their bone density despite taking supplements. This food helps break that cycle by supporting gut health from the inside out. In addition to reducing inflammation and promoting gut balance, this food also affects hormonal pathways that influence bone strength. Inflammation disrupts hormones such as estrogen, testosterone, and parathyroid hormone, all of which play vital roles in bone metabolism. For example, estrogen helps preserve bone density by slowing bone resorption, and testosterone supports bone formation. Chronic inflammation can cause these hormone levels to decline or fluctuate unpredictably, weakening the bone-building signals the body relies on. The bioactive components found in this food help restore hormonal balance by reducing inflammatory interference in the endocrine system. This is particularly important for people over the age of 40, when natural hormone levels begin to shift and bones become more vulnerable. By lowering inflammatory stress on the body, this food allows hormones to function more efficiently, resulting in improved bone formation and reduced bone loss over time. Another way silent inflammation affects bones is through oxidative stress, which damages bone cells and the collagen matrix that provides flexibility and structure to bones. When oxidative stress breaks down collagen, bones become brittle, increasing the risk of fractures. The antioxidants in this food help protect collagen fibers and support the enzymes responsible for maintaining the bone matrix. This protective effect is essential because strong bones are not just dense, they are also resilient. Without adequate collagen integrity, even dense bones can break more easily. Supporting collagen through antioxidant-rich foods helps maintain both the strength and flexibility of the skeletal framework. What makes this food particularly impressive is how consistently research supports its benefits across different populations and age groups. Whether someone is dealing with early signs of bone thinning, recovering from fractures, managing menopause-related bone loss, or simply trying to maintain strong bones as they age, the anti-inflammatory power of this food provides a foundation for long-term skeletal health. Even in clinical studies where participants made no other lifestyle changes, regular consumption of this food led to measurable reductions in inflammation markers and improvements in bone density scans. These results highlight that food-based interventions can work at a cellular level, offering natural solutions that support the body's innate healing mechanisms. Traditional medicine systems have long used this food for its anti-inflammatory and restorative effects, treating it as a staple for strengthening bones, improving mobility, and enhancing overall vitality. While ancient practices understood these benefits through observation and experience, modern science is now revealing the biochemical reasons behind it. The synergy of minerals, polyphenols, vitamins, and natural oils found in this food works together to reduce inflammation, enhance nutrient absorption, support bone cell activity, and maintain hormonal balance. This is why incorporating it into daily meals can create a powerful nutritional foundation for stronger bones and better mobility throughout life. Across cultures and centuries, certain foods have stood the test of time, not just because they taste good, but because they offer tangible, measurable benefits to the human body, and this particular food has earned its reputation as a cornerstone of bone health through both tradition and modern science. When we look at populations that consume this food daily, we consistently see stronger bones, fewer fractures, and better mobility as they age, and these real-world observations are backed by long-term studies that reveal how profoundly this food affects the skeletal system. These populations often live in regions where bone-weakening conditions like osteoporosis appear less frequently, and when researchers investigate why, they repeatedly come back to the nutrients, natural compounds, and regular consumption patterns connected to this single food. This kind of evidence is powerful because it shows not only what happens in a controlled laboratory environment, but what happens in everyday life when people consistently fuel their bodies with something that aligns with the biology of bone formation and preservation. A remarkable aspect of this food is that it supports bone health across multiple life stages, making it valuable for children, adults, and seniors alike. For children and teenagers whose bones are rapidly developing, the minerals and bioactive compounds in this food help support peak bone mass, which is essential for long-term skeletal resilience. In adulthood, when bone breakdown begins to slowly outpace bone formation, this food helps restore balance by providing the body with the building blocks needed to maintain bone density. And in older adults, especially those over 50, when hormonal changes accelerate bone loss, the anti-inflammatory and nutrient-dense qualities of this food help slow the decline and strengthen the structural integrity of the skeletal system. This broad usefulness across age groups is what makes it so unique, and it explains why both ancient traditions and modern clinicians value it so highly in dietary recommendations focused on bone health. One of the reasons this food is so effective is that it provides multiple essential nutrients in a naturally balanced form. Bones require more than just calcium to stay strong. They rely on magnesium, phosphorus, vitamin K, trace minerals, and compounds that support collagen formation. This food delivers many of these nutrients together, allowing the body to absorb and utilize them synergistically instead of individually. When nutrients are consumed in natural combinations, the body recognizes and processes them more efficiently, leading to better outcomes. This synergy plays a major role in bone cell communication, helping osteoblasts and osteoclasts maintain the harmony needed for continuous bone renewal. Rather than overwhelming the body with isolated supplements that may be poorly absorbed or create imbalances, this food supports the natural rhythm of bone remodeling in a holistic, body-friendly way. Consistency is another key factor behind the impressive bone-related results seen in populations that eat this food regularly. Unlike supplements that people may take inconsistently or forget entirely, this food often becomes part of daily meals, something people look forward to consuming. When a nutrient source is enjoyable and easy to include, it is far more likely to be used daily, which is essential for achieving long-term results. Regular intake gradually improves bone structure, mineralization, and resilience, and over months and years, the cumulative effect becomes noticeable in mobility, posture, and overall skeletal stability. This is why researchers repeatedly note that daily consumption patterns matter as much as the food itself, because bones respond best to steady, continuous nourishment rather than sporadic bursts of nutrients. Another important aspect of this food's long-term benefits is its effect on the circulatory system. Healthy blood flow plays an essential role in delivering minerals, oxygen, and nutrients to the bone tissue, and any food that supports vascular health indirectly strengthens bones as well. Many studies show that this food helps improve microcirculation, the tiny, branching vessels that feed bone cells and the bone marrow. Better circulation means more efficient delivery of bone-building compounds and faster removal of waste byproducts that accumulate during the remodeling process. This vascular support becomes increasingly important with age, as blood flow naturally slows and bone tissues may receive fewer resources. By enhancing circulation, this food ensures that bones remain nourished, active, and capable of continuous repair. Traditional cultures have recognized these benefits long before scientific explanations existed. In many parts of the world, this food is considered medicinal rather than merely dietary, used in healing broths, daily rituals, and strengthening tonics. Healers and elders often recommended it for people recovering from fractures, women after childbirth, and elders with joint stiffness or weak bones. These traditions highlight something profound. Human experience had already shown that this food could restore strength and vitality long before researchers identified its specific nutrients and biochemical pathways. Modern scientific tools now validate these practices, showing that its minerals support bone density, its anti-inflammatory compounds protect bone cells, and its bioactive elements influence hormonal balance and gut health, all of which are essential for strong bones. Furthermore, this food supports muscle health, which directly contributes to bone protection. Strong muscles help stabilize the skeleton, improve balance, and reduce the likelihood of falls, a major cause of bone fractures, especially in older adults. Some of the compounds in this food support muscle repair and reduce fatigue, allowing individuals to stay more active. Movement itself stimulates bone growth through a process called mechanotransduction, where bones respond to physical stress by becoming stronger. In other words, this food not only strengthens the bones internally, but also supports the muscles that protect and reinforce the skeletal system externally. Long-term studies also show that people who regularly consume this food have better posture, stronger joints, and greater mobility as they age. These improvements occur because the food's nutrients help maintain the collagen matrix within bones, support cartilage health, and reduce stiffness caused by inflammation. Over time, these benefits contribute to improved quality of life, making everyday activities like walking, lifting, bending, and exercising more comfortable and sustainable. This is particularly meaningful for older adults who often struggle with declining mobility, as even small improvements in bone and joint health can translate into significant gains in daily independence. When you combine all these factors, nutrient synergy, anti-inflammatory properties, enhanced circulation, hormonal support, better nutrient absorption, improved muscle function, and centuries of traditional use, it becomes clear why this food continues to be celebrated for its ability to strengthen bones naturally and consistently across generations.